Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming to my channel. So I just got done setting up a little something. So I didn't really have any monitoring set up for my K3's instance, other than just monitoring, my VMs and my physical systems with Nagios. So I'm like, all right. So I looked into a couple different things, and they all seemed way too complex. And honestly, I don't want to install something that might break my environment. I can control my environment in my lab using the command line. I don't need a GUI or something. But yet again, I still need to know what's going on in my environment. So I always have all my stuff, putting all my logs into Splunk. So it's a very simple process. You just change your rsyslog to export everything over to the Splunk server, and then you have a little index in your Splunk server grabbing all the syslogs. So I found a way to utilize that process for sending K3's information of my pods and all some of their details over into my Splunk server. So I'll show you, what I ended up doing. So this is my environment. I got four. Well, I'll show you. So I got four nodes, one worker, three control plane. So what I ended up doing is I got my virtual systems are running on two different physical boxes. And so 981 and 982 are on one physical box, 983 and 984 are on a separate physical box. So all of them have access to an NFS share. So what I did is I created a script that will execute as a cron job, and then that way it uses the script in the NFS share. That way I only have one place to ever edit the script. So I like that idea. So what I ended up, so let me show you my environment just a little bit to get some information. Um, I created a couple of scripts that I can run. So I got a MySQL checker. It's just a simple bash script. Goes out and just runs some basic kubectl commands and shows me, everything, where it's at, what's going on. So I got a MySQL, and then my other one is Splunk. All right. So as you can see, I've got two different pods running. One's MySQL and one is Splunk, and this one's running on RHEL 982. The other one was running on 981. So what I want to know is when things change, right? So I mean, I know you could actually go and this changes every time that it changes nodes. But anyways, I wanted to see a log of stuff, and that way I can go track and create dashboards and all that cool stuff. So what I ended up doing is I created a cron job. Oh, there we go. All right, so I got these two cron jobs. They run every minute. So I'll show you the script I ended up putting together. And then it just used, so whenever you want to test your syslog system, there's a logger command you can use. So I've got logger set up. Uh, Copy the way I wanted. So all it does is gather information and then echo, well, not echo, but uses the logger command in the variable and exports the information. All right, so I'll highlight this so you can kind of see where it all starts at. So as per design, when you install it, you got to kind of move your kube config over to your home path and all that. So that was just kind of following everybody else online. This way, when the cron job executes, it knows where to go look. So then what I did is I wanted to go out and this is by namespace. So I've got one pod per namespace. So because the pod the pod names change all the time. I went out, got the pod name from the namespace, and that way I get the full name of the current pod. So in case this pod switches over to another node, I'll get the correct name. So that's why I got my pod name. This goes out and pulls all these different fields. Then I extract the different fields. Then also I go out, get the PVC information and the PV. And then I pile it all together into one variable. And then it's just a simple export using the logger command. So I just go logger and then my variable, right? So I just go in and grab all this information and then use the logger command. And because I've already got everything going over into Splunk, then I can do something cool like this. So this is executing every minute. So as you can see, so the master reporter, this is the system that's actually executing the script. I've got the script executing on two different virtual machines, master nodes, and those two different virtual machines are on two separate physical hosts. So I have reporting coming in from two different sources, and it runs every minute. So this is just grabbing like the top 20. So I get the namespace, the Splunk name. So if I actually went in and drained a node and this changed and moved over to a different node, it would actually dynamically grab the new pod name. This is the node that it's actually currently running on, and this is the assigned PVC, the assigned PV, status, and then a timestamp. Now, the cool part about this is if I had a full-blown version, I'm using the free version of Splunk, where you can create alerts and everything else, where you could come in here if you had actual enterprise Splunk, you could say, oh, you know, if status is not equal to running, then send me an alert or do this. So in Splunk, there's 1,000 tools that you can use for creating dashboard. This is just a very basic. You create a dashboard for this, counters, whatever you want, and then also set up alerts and even have it email out dynamic reports so you can see where all your pods have been for the last 24 hours or something if you want. So I just thought this was kind of a cool solution, and this is just at the starter point of it all. So this is just grabbing all my pod information. So I'm gonna run another little script that's gonna go out and get all my node information. Then I'm gonna go out and then grab. I have another section that's gonna give me, you know, how much memory is the pod using and CPU and uh, how much space I have left in my PV and stuff like that and everything. So. But I just thought that this was, you know, if you don't want the headache of installing some massive other program and the 20 steps it takes sometimes to integrate it into your current environment, and there might be really simple solutions out there. I just haven't found one yet. And plus, I like to tinker. You know, I know Splunk pretty good, and the only thing I needed help on is the bash command. So I'm not really a huge editor in Bash or programmer, but I just use ChatGPT to help me with some of the code here, and had a lot of testing and wanted to make sure I got exactly what I wanted, and that's about it. So I was able to get my information and my status and get my proper logging over into Splunk in a nice, clean, easy to read format, and that was my goal. All right. Thank you very much, and please leave comments and like and subscribe. Bye.